It makes me think of Chrissy Wake Up.
Oh,
What is that?
what?
So on TikTok, people are taking this and doing that Chrissy Wake Up thing that Eddie did in the show.
Mm.
Chrissy, wake up. I was like, oh my god. Now every time I hear it, that's what I hear. TikTok ruins things. Not in a bad way, though.
It just depends. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
TikTok
like the
can.
best. It's where I learn all my things now. I don't watch the news. I watch TikTok.
I'm happy for you.
That's where you get your information from.
If it ain't on TikTok, it's gotta be
It
TikTok.
ain't real.
If it ain't TikTok, it ain't real.
That's right. Oh my gosh. It's good times.
It's
It's good
definitely
times.
interesting.
Oh, I like it. Yes.
Definitely. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello.
What's good?
Thank you
We're
all
here.
for hanging with us. We are the Marauders. We're here every Thursday at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go ahead and start introducing ourselves. Let's start down the bottom.
Okay, so I'm 74 days until with a bunch of dots. That was
Until
Halloween.
oh,
People.
okay.
Halloween.
Should have
Okay,
known.
spooky season is upon us. Prepare. That's just it. Prepare.
Funny thing about your name.
Costumes, here we come.
Funny thing about that, because we were at Old Navy and Charlie was like, "Daddy, why is all the Halloween stuff out right now?" I said, "Baby, you can't just put it out the day before." So
No, it's a lifestyle. So
That's funny.
what's going on, y'all? I am the Bat, aka Ace Kennedy. Y'all know how I do it. Talk nerdy to me.
And I'm
with
Secret
this shirt.
Jars instead of Secret
Oh,
Wars.
I like it.
Yeah, the bat. I see that. That's nice.
See, mine says
That's
"Boo,
nice and
you whore."
subtle. Yoda peeks out every once in a while.
Yay!
I love that shirt.
Look
Oh,
at his
that's like
eyeball. That
the
is good.
favorite shirt of mine. I love that
Yeah.
shirt.
Okay, well, let's get on to this. First thing, Ezra Miller coming out saying, I'm sorry. And I hate the pictures they put with it because all his pictures, he does not look like he's sorry for anything.
I like the variety picture because it was like his hair had the highlights in it. He was like it was like a piece.
Right.
But yeah, I like that picture. But yeah, the pictures that they do attach to it when people are talking about it, it's always the creepy picture, the one where he's got the like the neck thing or
So,
him with the makeup and
yeah.
like okay.
So what are your thoughts on his apology?
I think Warner Brothers is trying to scramble so that they can get this movie out.
I think honestly, Zaslav put out an ultimatum. Like the thing is this, right? While he inherited this problem, right?
Yep.
He's doing this because of Machete. He respects him. He knows the type of filmmaker he is, and he worked hard on this movie. So the fact that we have Ezra Miller, who's doing all of these atrocities, and causing the movie strife. I mean, to be honest, this is the right time for him to apologize in order for him
Yeah.
to make it towards the movie. Because at the end of the day, all this press can be beneficial towards the movie. And the fact that he did apologize makes me happy. I've said from day one when we started talking about Ezra Miller that I wanted him to get the help that he needed. Now, does he deserve to still be the Flash after all of this is over? If he does get the help that he needs and all of that, I have no issue with that. I think that's a WB thing that they need to figure out. But I am glad that he is apologetic. I hope that it's sincere and that he does do the work and gets the help that he needs because from all accounts, he's an incredible actor. He does good work, and I care about the person more than I do the actor. But I do want to see this movie be successful.
Do you think? I mean, isn't this like Aquaman will be the last movie from the Snyderverse, right? So are we even going to see him again as the Flash?
Well, this was supposed to be the Flashpoint. Again, we don't know what Zaslav's new vision for DC is, because he's starting to do divisions. Like, it's gonna be a DC division, it's gonna be a this division, a that division. And a lot of things are getting cut, and that's why they brought him in. That's the business guy he is. He did the same thing at Discovery, and he's gonna do this here. So a lot, and the even sadder part is that HBO is basically saying, once the shows, because HBO always has stuff that comes in and leaves, right? Well, now they're saying whatever leaves, it's gone. It's not going to another streaming service. Like, it's done. So with that being said, I do think there's going to be an iteration of the Flash and Aquaman going forward, if they do some sort of soft reboot or whatever, to where we get a defined cast of these are the people going forward, because he's looking for a cinematic universe.
Right, but he did say he was doing a reset. So my thought process is that he's getting rid of the whole Snyderverse concept and starting fresh.
Yeah, but maybe a reset in story, but not necessarily with cast. Because when I'm saying a reset, a soft reset, meaning maybe he keeps what's his name as Aquaman and keeps Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, but uses
the
Paddington,
TV show Flash.
Paddington as Robert Pattinson as
Pattinson.
Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe those pieces come together, and maybe even using Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. You know what I'm saying? So
you did see what he said about the Batman movie, that we wouldn't see that. Like, it's years down the road before we see a second one.
Well, yeah, but that's because what's his name is still involved. For one, he has what's his name. They're working on the Penguin thing, so that's because there's no script. That's the difference, though.
I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because he's wanting to reset, start fresh.
No. They said that there is going to be a Batman 2. There hasn't been a script written, because originally that movie was supposed to be a one-off.
Right. No, I know that. I read the article.
Right.
Because I was like, what are they?
Right.
If they wait too long, it's not going to be a Batman one, or a year one Batman story anymore.
Right. But if it takes him 2 years to write the script, because if he's actively working on Penguin,
I think it's past 2 years.
Even still, if the Penguin stuff is good, and then he starts writing the script for it, I mean, as long as the movie is good, and again, like you said, we don't know what his vision is for what DC is going to be. So as long as we get a good movie,
I think we need to go away from Joker being villain. Like, let's start introducing different villains. I don't know about y'all. How y'all feel about that?
You mean being the main villain?
He wasn't supposed to be the next villain, though. He was supposed to just be in Arkham. He was just supposed to have a presence. He wasn't supposed to be the main villain.
Visit other ones, like freaking what's his face, Solomon Grundy hasn't even been a live action yet. Like, and he was in like the very beginning Batman comics.
He was in Gotham, dear.
Well, that's not a movie. I guess I didn't see Solomon Grundy in the
right. You said he wasn't in live action. I'm like, well, actually, he was.
Well, here's the deal.
There's quite a few villains, but everybody always goes back to Joker, Penguin, and Catwoman. That's always been the main, and Riddler. Those are always the main ones.
The reason I'm bringing this up, so me and Phil were talking the other day about the DC reset, right? And so we were thinking, what if they went away from focusing on your big six, like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and they like focused on a really good Teen Titans?
Well, unfortunately, the reason why they're not going to do that is because the show is doing well.
Yeah.
Like the new season.
But are they going to continue it under this new guy? Like he said it?
That nobody. Well, they just if that was the case, they would have canceled the season before it came out. He had an opportunity to cut the season. What I'm saying is Titans is doing well, so I don't see them then being like, okay, well now let's make a movie out of it. Now the thing is, his focus is going to be movies, but and I think it's on purpose that we don't have a clear picture of what he's trying to do because of the fact things are still being put in place, and they'll release that information when they want to.
Right. Jared, it was just us theorizing about it.
I think something cool we could come out of is out of the Joaquin Joker. Maybe we could get a version of Red Hood.
I even said that. What if we got a good live action Red Hood?
Yeah.
Because that would be, I kind of like, let's not focus on what we've been doing for years and years and years. And I don't know. Let's step
Even
into
though
some
Red
other
Hood
areas.
Even though Red Hood was in Titans.
Titans, the TV
He
show. I'm
was, yeah.
talking about movies.
Well, you just keep saying live action, so I'm only attacking your words there.
Well,
You
apparently
need to specify
it
is what he's
wasn't big
saying.
enough for everybody to see. Because honestly, I wasn't a fan of the first season of Titans
Well, that's
because
the
they
first
did
season. We
not
on
follow
season 4.
lore. And
We're on
so
season 4.
hopefully
I started
they
it and I
start
just
following
haven't been
lore.
able to hang on to it. So I gave up pretty quick.
Yeah, the interest just didn't get me there. I was like, plus I didn't like the way that they did Raven's character. I mean, she is, a huge character in Teen Titans, and I feel like they missed the mark on her. But that was just.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying that I haven't been disappointed by certain things in Titans. Overall, it's been decent. It's one of them because I couldn't get through Doom Patrol, but
Yeah,
Titans I was able to get through. So yeah, Doom Patrol felt like a Wish version of the Umbrella Academy, and I just rather watch the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, I don't know, because Teen Titans. Now my daughter's a huge Teen Titans fan. Not the Teen Titans Go. The Teen Titans, when it first came out in like 2003, which she wasn't born until 2006, but she watched the original Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And then you really get into, because that's another thing too, because DC's a dark, it's a darker comic, it's a darker story. And like you're talking about these teenagers, like Raven's character and how she comes about. And then you look at Beast Boy and how he comes about. You look at Robin, Damian Wayne, how he comes about, because he was a villain before he becomes Robin. I mean, I just feel like there's so much they could do.
Spoiler alert. I'm just kidding.
Hey, Jared,
everybody knows that.
I mean, there's so many different Robins.
That is true.
Jared, what did you think about his apology, bro?
Sorry. Yeah, let's get back to the topic.
I mean, yeah, what I read, it just seemed like I had to say this because if I don't, I'm going to lose money.
But I mean, I think you're right though. He had to say it because I mean, if
there was no option. Yeah,
there was no option because if he didn't say anything, all the people was gonna be doing was asking questions about that. When are y'all gonna say something about Ezra? When y'all gonna say something about Ezra? When y'all gonna say something about Ezra? And so they had to get that out there. And it's about 10 months until the movie comes out. It's plenty of time for a redemption story. And plus, the crazy world we live in, something else is gonna happen before then. So the thing is this is the time.
They were just forcing him to get the apology out, and then they're gonna say, "Shut your mouth."
Well, his mom is there with him now.
Don't do anything.
Yeah, his mom has been with him now, and plus he still got to go to court in next month anyway.
Oh, really? For
breaking in, for stealing the alcohol.
He's definitely not let off the hook for anything.
Yeah.
Yet.
It'll be interesting to see, I guess, how the pieces are picked up from here.
Okay, something I do have a question about because I didn't read about the once it's gone. Explain that to me. So when you say once it's gone, what are we talking about?
So HBO Max has always had stuff that's kind of seasonal, like stuff that'll pop up and it'll be there for just a little bit and then it would leave the service. And maybe every once in a while it would make another entrance and come and go or whatever.
Pacific Rim or Godzilla or something. Is that what we're talking about?
I think some of their original titles is what I didn't get deep into it,
like
but
older stuff.
Yeah, some of the things they were talking about though, they were saying once they leave HBO Max, they won't go to another streaming service, almost like it's just gone. That was I'll bring up the tweet and who it's from.
So it's like we're not sending it anywhere else. Netflix isn't going to get to pick it up. Nothing like that. And we're not going to have it either. So if you have it, you better find it, kind of thing. Is that what you're saying?
Something like that. Let me see. What is his name? William Bibiani is
Shatner
tweeted it.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared they're not going to do the animated stuff because I guess they released something that they're not going to do it. The Young Justice League, they're not going to do the next season, which is animated. So then I'm like, crap, are they going to stop making the animated stuff? Because like we just watched the Flashpoint Paradox.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that's a really good animated cartoon to watch.
I watched that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
The Injustice League. Did you watch that one?
I didn't watch that one.
Very, very good. Like they're super. I don't know. They're done super well. I just wish that they would follow these animated movies and do that like they do their live action. It would do well. Maybe they're a little darker.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering now if he.
But you could pull off the boys stuff though on HBO Max.
That is true. You could. Well, like
they could go
watch
super.
Injustice.
They could go super dark and gritty if
Right.
they
And
really wanted to.
Like the Flashpoint Paradox animated movie, I feel like it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
There were some moments of oh crap.
But it's not even like what was the one on Amazon that we liked?
Invincible.
Yes. Like he's just pummeling, you just see blood squirting everywhere. It's like until he's almost dead.
Okay, so this is what the article says. After Netflix gutted their animation department and canceled a slew of their announced projects back in May, HBO appears to have taken the hold my beer approach and followed suit by absolutely gutting their own animated offerings on the platform. The streamer has also begun quietly removing a number of film and series since the merger between Warner Brothers and Discovery. But today's announcement was an absolute bloodbath, with animated projects taking the brunt of it all. Nearly 40 titles either already have been or will be removed by HBO Max by the end of the week, including 20 HBO Max originals.
Wow.
So what we're saying is I need to go look at that and see if there's anything I want to watch.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
No
it's
kidding.
gone.
Listen, the fact that they said bloodbath.
I don't know. That pisses me off because like their animated stuff is good. Like the DC stuff is good.
Yeah, but
Right.
they said, hey, we're not a kids division anymore. That's what they said. HBO.
Have you watched some of these? They're not for kids.
Yeah.
Like you don't want your kids to watch them.
I just put the article in our private chat.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll look
getting
that.
their heads cut off and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, they said a bloodbath. Not by the end of the month, but the end of the week, son. That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm for this, which I did end up like subscribing to Discovery Plus because of the true crime stuff, but I don't know. I'm really for Netflix right now. I think that Netflix is really
they killed it with
putting out some good stuff.
Bro.
Did you watch? Oh, Sandman was good. Did you watch Day Shift?
Not yet.
I didn't get to watch it. I keep trying. My son wants to watch it, and I'm like, let's sit down and watch it, but it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, good. It's really good. It's a good action.
What is whack, Philip? Tell me
Probably
what's
the
whack.
DC crap. He's a big animated DC fan. He'll probably cry.
So some of these comments are like, oh God, and it's like the big list of what's been taken out. Someone's like, oh, please watch these before they're gone.
That just why I just don't understand that. It's like, why are you taking away the stuff that you actually did good at?
So that's what it is. Yeah, get rid of that.
What? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm losing faith in DC.
You've been saying that for a while, though.
I know. Now, the Sandman really has me excited because, once again, that's DC, but it's Netflix. Netflix is doing it. And it is Warner Brothers.
Episode 6 on the Sandman.
Which one was that one?
That was called, I think, The Sound of Her Wings, which was, Jared, have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it, but you're not going to ruin anything for me.
Okay.
Earmuffs. Oh, have you read the comics?
It doesn't matter.
Basically, when he goes to meet his sister in the park.
Yes.
I
cried.
Yeah, exactly. That episode is so effing epic. It's
beautiful.
Like, bro, it was, man. So basically, okay, since you said you don't care, Jared.
Yeah, I'm good.
Spoilers if you haven't seen Sandman. Spoilers if you haven't seen Sandman. So in this particular episode, he meets this black woman and they're talking in the park or whatever. And he's like dressed in all black. You know what I'm saying? Sitting at the park. It's a nice day. People out playing soccer or whatever. And his black girl comes up to him. And so then this black dude comes up and was like trying to holler at the girl. And he was like, who is this dude? And she was like, oh, that's my brother. And so they just start walking around. Now, I have to set this up so that you can know why this is important. The dude is like, well, can I get your number? She was like, I'll see you later. Just put a pin in that. So they're walking around and they go into this guy's house. This old man sitting in the chair, and he's sitting up here doing this. He was singing. Yeah, that's right. He was playing the violin and he was playing this piece. And so she was like, keep playing. He was like, well, the guy who wrote it didn't finish writing it. So this was all that was there. And so he was like, oh, she was like, okay. She was like, well, it's time. And he was like, huh? And she was like, yeah, it's time. And he was like, well, hold on. Before he said, okay, I get it. Give me a second. So he recites this thing. And he was just like,
beautiful.
Yeah, he recites this thing like it's almost like a prayer he did. And so he was like, this is really it, huh? She was like, yeah. And she grabs his hand, and then he turns around and look, and you see him slumped over in the chair. So that's how we found out she's death.
She's the endless death.
Yeah. So then she's talking to her brother, but she's like, you can come with me while I work. And she's just going to different places. She goes to a hospice hospital, and grabs this girl's hand, and she passes away. He goes to the beach where this dude just married his wife, right? And she walks up to him, and he was like, like, I don't know the guy's name, but he was like, hi, Gary. And he was like, how you know my name? He's like, it's time. And he was like, wait. No, like, hold up. My wife, all of our flight information is in my phone. Like, at least let me give her my password so she can have it. And she was like, I'm sorry. And so then he turns around and look, and they're bringing his body out the water. And then you see his wife just bust out in tears.
Oh, it was gut wrenching.
Oh, it was epic. And then the final one, they go into this house, and his mom is holding her baby, and she's just like, okay, baby, get you all settled down, sits the baby in the crib, and the mom goes to try to get her bottle, whatever, like that. She comes and picks up the baby, and she says, I'm sorry, but this is all the time that you have. And then the mom comes back in as they're walking out, and you just hear her lose it. And it's just like, oh my, bro.
But it was done beautifully.
Yes, it was. It was not like she basically was, because he asked her, he was like, how do you do this? And she was like, I used to think how lonely this is, but I come to realize that I'm not alone, because I'm that friendly face that's there with them, that gets to walk through this with them. She was like, I'm not there. And there's other ones that's in there, but those were like really huge. But she was just like, I'm there for them, and I don't get to be there for all of them, but I try to get to as many as I possibly can, because I want them to have a familiar face when they transition. And there's significance why he's talking to her. I won't ruin that for you. But then the whole episode transitions, because there's a guy that she was like, did you go see him yet? He was like, no, I've been late, but I'm gonna go see him now. Bro, they flash back to like the 1800s, right? And they hear this guy talking to a bunch of people, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm choosing not to die. He was like, forget it. Everybody out here dying, like dying is all a part of life, and I'm just not gonna die. And so him and his sister was like, you know what? I'm gonna grant his wish. I'm gonna let him not die. And he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna meet him here every 100 years, because I want to see how his life goes since he doesn't get to die. So every 100 years they meet in the exact same spot. And they're talking.
I think it was the 1600s, because they were friends for like 500 years.
Yeah. But then you had a year that go ahead.
No, I was just going to tell you the parts with the sister and they're walking around and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. That is word for word from the comic. I bought the comic. I bought the first book. It is, word for word.
Well, that was what the creator said. He said, I wrote those words. He said, and when I watched it, he said, I was crying. Like, I wrote this. Yes. And he was like, I was in tears. Anyway, Jared, when he met the dude every 100 years, and there was different stories and different things going on. I won't ruin that for you. But 1 year he didn't show up. And it's because of a reason. And so then he finally meets him again. It was that I'm telling you, it's not even that it was the best episode in that series. It's one of the best episodes I've ever seen. Like the way it was, like the way it was written. Mm-hmm. So you remember I told you to put a pin in that dude? Well, then they come back to the end, and she goes up to, and the guy was like, man, it's crazy. There was a car accident over there. And he was like, yeah, I got out the way just in time. She was like, did you really? He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I don't know what the commotion's about. And so she's like, give me your hand, follow me. And they walk over there and you see him laid out. I was just like, okay. You know how I am about stuff that just wraps around. It
Right.
was that episode was written so cold, bro.
well. Oh my god. That's how it is in the comic too. So just think, like, if they do continue Sandman, we're getting this writing for a long time because this is how he wrote the comics. Like, it is fascinating. Like, and one thing I liked about that episode was what we saw in episode 5. I feel like we earned episode 6.
Yeah. Episode 5 was so crazy, bro.
Oh.
Jared, I'm telling you, bro, this series, Sandman it snuck up on me because I had no expectation. I had seen a lot of the promotional stuff on Twitter, and I was like, man, they really pushing this. And so when I saw it, it was just, you said you saw the first episode, right, Jared?
No, I haven't watched any of it.
Oh, you haven't watched any of it?
All I've seen is the trailer, and it looked like a CW version of what's it called? Sparkly.
Oh,
Pattinson.
I know.
Twilight.
Twilight.
It's
CW's Twilight.
No, not at all, brother.
Not even close. The Corinthian is probably one of the best villains ever created.
Yeah, he's great. I even like the female.
The Nightmare.
What's the girl name? She Constantine.
Oh yeah, Joanna Constantine. I love that take too because the comic book is John Constantine, so they switched it up to Joanna Constantine.
Yeah, man, this is the thing, Jared. Every side character, their stories are just as listen, you don't even get much of the characters, right? But every side character you meet, you want to know their story. They could literally do they could spin it off with the side characters because their stories are so interesting. There's a take on Cain and Abel.
Oh my god, yes.
there's a take on Lucifer.
Yes.
Jared, bro, the show is great.
So the show is good.
Merv.
I need to watch the show, is what you're saying.
You need to,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
If you like fantasy, if you like kind of that darker side, yes.
Okay. Then I will make sure to watch it then.
And is it Merv or Marv? Merv. The pumpkin.
Yeah. That's
he's probably one of my favorites too.
That's
It's Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I didn't know that until today, until he posted about it.
Are you serious?
Didn't know. Had no clue.
Oh my goodness.
That was a nice surprise.
It was. You know the Raven? Like
Yeah.
What's his Matthew? It's a real raven that they used. It's not a CGI.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a real raven that they used in the scenes. Now I probably not when it's talking, of course, but
right.
I thought that was cool.
That's pretty cool.
An actual raven.
Yeah. They didn't use a lot of green screen, what they said. I mean, obviously there's some stuff in there, but most of the according to the actors, most of the scenes were built. And his voice was incredible. His voice. I know. Bro, this dude is so skinny looking, but it looks like that. I mean, when I finally got to see the comic version, he looks like that, but his voice though, it's like, you know how we see Bruce Wayne and then when he's Batman, he has that deep voice, but his is deep, but it's impressive. Like it's very dreamy. It's very deep, and it's so subtle.
Like James Earl Jones.
It's
kind of
forceful because not quite as gruffy.
Yeah, because it's just a direct. Like he's very direct. He's very stern. Because you know, you look at him and you think, man, what is this little frail dude gonna do, right? But he's intentional, and and then when you hear the actor talk in real life, he did it.
Nothing like it.
You know, he's like the Lord of Dreams. That's why he's like that.
Yeah, he had great hair throughout the whole show.
Have you watched like any of the interviews that they've done? So Neil Gaiman, I don't know how you say his last name, but the creator of the comic and the actor that played Morpheus, they did a thing together where he was talking about when he first was doing the voice, like in the very first day, and how the Neil guide said, "Stop talking like Batman."
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
all
that's
the
awesome.
man, all the characters were great, bro. They really did do
Yes.
casting well because they even said I think they
Desire.
said they went through like 100 people to get to Death, like to get to his sister. They
Yep.
interviewed. I mean, they auditioned like 100 people, so like they
They
really put some
Pretty
yeah,
time.
intentional
to get to
about it.
Morpheus, it was like over 1,000 people. But they kept going back to Tom. It's hilarious. Like watch some of these interviews they had with the casting.
Yeah,
It's quite funny.
yeah.
I love
I'm.
Desire.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Oh
that what
yes,
is it? What's his name? Or their name? Anyways, I thought that they did an amazing job as Desire. Like,
yes,
I don't know.
yeah.
The
Was it
casting was
despair? Was
spot
it
on.
despair and desire?
So yeah, it's Despair. Despair's the bigger
Mm-hmm.
girl, and then
Mm-hmm.
of course we know who Desire is, and
Yeah.
because there's 7 of them altogether. We got to see Death, Dream, Despair, and Desire. The ones we haven't seen yet are Destiny, Delirium, and Destruction. I believe.
Jared, I
No,
think you'll enjoy it, bro.
or
I
8.
would be pretty disappointed if you didn't like it.
Okay, I'm gonna start it
Yeah.
then.
So it's amazing, beautifully written, beautifully done. I wish that Netflix would freaking announce they're doing a season 2 because it's still not been announced. They have
Do
to.
they
Like
have
it's
enough?
just doing that well.
Where are they at in content as far as the comics? Is there a
I
ton of comics
think it's
already, or
book 1. So it's 4,000 pages, the whole story of Sandman, and I think we're in like the first 300 pages for season 1. So they
oh,
go
okay?
through a lot of it
So
in
they've got a
season 1.
lot of room still.
Right. So I think there's 10 books altogether, because they're graphic novels. And so I think we got into all of book 1 and then some of book 2.
So okay, so out of 4,000 pages, they did you think around 300? Did
I
it
think so. I think
feel
that's what
did
they
it feel
said.
stretched out for what you've seen?
Oh man, each
No,
episode felt
surprisingly, no.
yeah, each
Good.
episode was like a mini movie almost.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they had nice little cliffhangers for stuff, but I'm just saying like everything felt like it had great pacing. It had great pacing.
Yes.
Because you like they hold on to something in the beginning on purpose.
Yeah.
Because there's a time span thing that happens, but it makes you understand and feel, but everything's intentional because you need that in order to understand certain things that happen toward the
Yeah.
end. And uh then it's like there's a journey thing that happens and you're like rooting for this journey, and then everything I don't know,
Yeah.
I mean just talking about it is making it fuller in my head because it's like,
Yeah.
man, this show was great.
Yes. Yes. I would agree with that statement.
I think
It's
it's probably the second best series I've seen this year.
what's your first?
Um, I don't know because I mean, Umbrella Academy season 3 was really good. I will say I did enjoy Peacemaker a lot. I know you didn't, but
I did.
I mean, I just don't know that I can
Really?
say that. Yeah, Bonnie didn't like it. Uh,
That surprises me actually.
right. It's so up her alley, and she would not give it a try, bro. She
I
gave
watched
up.
the first episode.
Oh
She gave up
no.
after the first episode, bro.
No.
She has no idea how
Maybe
dope.
I'll give it another.
What's
I
my
can
boy's
say that I
name?
am thoroughly disappointed in you.
What's it? The Vigilante.
Vigilante.
If Vigilante isn't her favorite character when it's over, I just don't understand it, bro. She just gave up. I knew
I
me
don't
and her was
know.
gonna be doing I thought me and her was gonna be doing the theme music at the office, everything. She
I
bailed.
know. I
That is
missed the mark.
crazy.
My bad.
It's so up her alley. She listen, all the jokes and stuff that we tell each other, it's so up her alley, and she gave up on it.
I did. Maybe I'll try again.
I think you should try. Get a couple episodes in on that one because I feel like
Bonnie,
What?
I'm just saying, man.
I have to say I would love.
Oh my
He's
god.
even got something for it. I would love to see Ahmad lift Shane up on his shoulders.
I would too.
And it's got to be with the straight face too.
Oh yeah, you can't break character. I couldn't do
Just
it.
like that.
There's no way
Just
that I
like
could keep a
that.
straight face.
Man,
Oh,
I
man.
want to. I promise I want to flash mob that so bad. I want like 10 people to learn that entire routine, and we just do it. It would go
I'll learn
viral
the
on TikTok.
dance. I'll learn the dance.
Oh, it'd be great.
I just don't want to watch the movie or show.
It's so good.
Okay. We still got some things to knock out here. Okay,
Yeah,
since
let's
we went back to HBO Max, so let's go ahead and do House of the Dragons. House of
I'm
Dragons.
ready. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I am too. I don't see. Once I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, I'm in. I don't need to see anything else. P Valley just finished this weekend, so now I have the space to watch it. I just got to see if Sarah's gonna be on board, because if she ain't gonna be on the board, then I'm cool. I can push through it. So no, I'm super excited. I do miss Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
And I'm interested in seeing their new take on Game of Thrones. Like, I want to know if I'm gonna get that same feeling that I got with the original cast.
Right. I would agree with that. I'm excited.
I never finished Game of Thrones. I started it, and it wasn't for the lack of trying. It's not that
Yeah.
I didn't like it. It's just I was so far behind and so much other stuff.
Well, I'm gonna tell
keep
you,
wanting to start, but
it's Bonnie's fault that I got to it. Bonnie and Rodney at my job, because it was season 6 before I started watching it. And then we had a snowstorm or something. So I had like 2 weeks where we were off work, and I caught up. So right when season 7 was, so I was like them waiting for season 7 to come out. So then I had basically caught up. And of course, I'm amped up. I'm telling them stuff that they probably forgot.
Theorizing everything.
Yeah. And of course they already knew what was happening. I fell in love with Tyrion. And everything happened. So I caught up. We watched season 7, and then season 8 happened. So it's very doable to catch up. But yeah, it was a great show.
If you got young kids,
Yeah.
it's harder.
And that was the other thing. I got into the first few episodes, and I was like, I can't watch this. It's kind of like Peacemaker. I can't watch this with the kids around.
Yeah.
Certain audiences. I'm wondering too, is this going to be as gritty, I guess, as the
Sexually,
prior
you mean?
Game of Thrones? And gruesome?
I would think so. If you have dragons in there, they got to eat somebody.
That's true. Or burn them to a crisp.
Something.
But you know what I mean, because it was pretty.
I would hope so. The fact that it's on HBO and the fact that we have better technology, it should be.
And we're supposed to have a shit ton of dragons.
Right. With the success of The Boys and everything that blood, like that type of stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if it's still.
I'm hoping it's. Because I feel like that's Game of Thrones. Like you can't take that stuff out for it to be good.
I mean, as long as I don't see anybody sneeze and somebody gets tore apart,
Listen,
I'm good.
Look, Bonnie, those
are some of the grossest things.
I said, listen, wait till you get to Sneezegate. I just left it alone, right? Jared came back and said, bro, I never in my life want to see nothing like that again. It's
not
like,
only did it hurt, but that was nasty.
It was, because it's like, what can they do to top what they did in season 1 where the girl exploded, right? And then, but then it gets worse, because it's like, well, what can they do to top Sneezegate? And then they did the was it Sexgasm, Herogasm.
Herogasm, yeah.
And that
Gotcha.
Did you watch The Boys?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I've watched season 1.
Bonnie,
when he walks and opens up the door,
right?
He has his leather jacket on.
Yeah, and his friend is just like, "Hey man, hey, put that up." Like, Bonnie, you are missing out on some of the greatest content.
I told Phil we need to watch The Boys, but we're now watching Vinland Saga.
I have to say that is on the top of my list that people should see.
And see, now that I'm talking about
those of you out there that are able to watch those kind of things.
Yeah. But maybe
I'm
that's
able
what it is, Jared.
I know you can.
That's the best series that I've seen this year. It's season 3 of The Boys.
The Boys.
Yes.
We've heard a lot of good things
that's
about
pretty
this
high
season.
on my list. The Stranger Things would be up there too for me.
Oh God, yes. That was probably my number one. Is Stranger Things.
Yeah, I told them the last time we talked about it that I feel like it's the first season of Stranger Things that I wouldn't mind going back and watching. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's all because of Eddie.
I know.
That's
Eddie,
been the
I
best
freaking love
character I
Eddie.
have seen on that show.
Yes. Well, yes. And did you know? Well, I don't know if it's 100% true, but they did say, I think it was the writers that said that he was loosely
Ash.
based off of Damien Eccles from the West Memphis 3, which was a true crime thing.
I don't know.
Y'all wouldn't know if you don't know true crime.
No.
Which I thought was cool because it's a real life
That's
kid.
what it is. She likes
kinda
real
shunned like
murder.
that.
That's the problem.
I like real murder. No, that's what I listen to, while I work.
So, Jared, because you haven't seen Game of Thrones, are you going to watch the House of Dragons?
I mean, it wouldn't really throw anything off because it's supposed to be before, right? It's just explaining the House of Targaryen or whatever. Yeah,
I think it's about the civil war within the Targaryens, right?
Something like that. Is the Mad King supposed to be in it?
I don't think so because it's prior to him.
Early. Okay, yeah.
But maybe his father.
Yeah.
When does it come out? It's in
Sunday.
a few weeks, right? Oh, Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Sunday.
I'll let you guys watch the first episode and tell me if I should go watch the first set first before I start it.
Yeah, because you got to watch Sandman first, bro.
Oh my gosh.
I'll go with Sandman first.
It was really good. It was just overall a really good show. Anyways.
Okay. She-Hulk. We know that came out yesterday.
Yeah. Are y'all planning to watch it?
Yes.
I want to, yeah.
We've heard good
things. I want to watch it. I want to watch it way more than I want to watch Miss Marvel. I still haven't even touched that one.
I haven't either. Well, the Bat knows why I don't want to watch it.
She's not going to watch it.
Because of the very last one that Ahmad talked about. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's how you're going to do that? Okay, I'm not watching your show.
Okay, so one thing that I don't know that I like is that all these things that we keep getting dropped, but they are not even remotely in the order that they happen. So like She-Hulk is way back down the line, like in the snap almost from what they're talking about.
I noticed his arms not messed up.
Yeah. And so a lot of this is sometimes confusing because I go watch Doctor Strange and I expect it to be something. I'm like, oh wait, no, this is just right after Wanda and getting the book and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a little confusing, and it makes it like when you go to the shows or the TV shows, and the order of it is what gets me.
Right.
Yeah, I get that, but I think we should be used to that for being Star Wars fans because everything is out of order. And we're able to follow the story pretty well. I mean, I understand this is different because they've kind of framed it to be the next step in the chapter, but I think these are things that are happening simultaneously, or like you said, it's just unfortunately the way that it's built that we can't get it directly in sync. Like, we give Feige so much credit for the vision that he has and the plan that he has, but unfortunately there's going to be some missteps.
I feel like it's becoming too convoluted too because there's just so much. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's
the only reason I disagree with that because I think it's a setup for something. Like I've heard a lot of people like we don't like all these shows and we don't really know what's going on in phase 5, and it was just like, bro, they have a plan. Like, that's the thing. It goes back to what I said about Star Wars fans. We get upset when we don't know what's going on, but then we'd be upset if we knew what was going on.
I think I'm with Jared though. It's hard to keep track of where we're at in the story.
Yeah,
it's because there's so much.
It's the mindset that we've been built. Like I think that's really what it is.
Yeah, they kept us on a freaking timeline before.
We go through here. Even like Captain America came out at a certain time that actually made sense of why we did Captain America and then Iron Man and all the other stuff. So when we get to these, I'm expecting it to be like either furthering that plot or something, and then we get to what was the last one? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, and so I mean, I didn't watch that one yet, so I mean, I don't even know where it falls or not.
It's
But
it's it's kind of there. It's kind of like in the same like within that whole time frame. I think what
What
threw us
time
off.
frame?
It's like right now ish.
Okay.
It's
Like
in the,
after everybody's
it's
brought
after the
back.
snap. Yeah, it's after the snap. It's after the snap.
But after
Um,
everybody's been brought back.
yes,
Okay.
but what threw everything off, what threw a big wrench and everything is Black Widow.
Yeah.
with
Because that
COVID
was
and then Black Widow
back in
happened,
time.
and
Well,
it pushed
because
stuff
Well, it's
Black
supposed to
around.
be.
because Black Widow died already. Like we knew she
Yeah.
was dead, and so then they showed us this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
They should have done her movie a long time ago, but that's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
We've talked about that.
Yes, we have.
Okay, so in the end, I do want to see She-Hulk. I feel
Mhm.
like it's going to be good. Hopefully, I'm not let down with it, but I think I'm going to like it.
I think so too. Especially we got Daredevil making an appearance, and I heard there's a bunch of cameos that happen.
Oh.
So I'm excited about that. Obviously, we know Bruce Banner's in it. But yeah.
Oh, Phil just posted the MCU timeline. Oh,
Oh.
thanks. You're so stupid. He's like, here, let me fix it for y'all.
Yeah, hold my beer.
Wait a minute. Maybe we're so thrown off with the timeline because where we're at, Loki broke the timeline, right? So we have all these different timelines we could be having. So maybe that's why we're so confused by the timelines. Is because that's
Or we
the way
could
that
just
they
watch
want
how
us
they
to
put
be.
it out, and they want right. This is how they want it to be because it's explained.
But I want something to talk about and complain.
Oh no, I understand, brother. Wouldn't
We
be
don't
wouldn't
have
be a great podcast
shame,
without a good
so
right.
Okay.
sorry.
We also had the we got time for it. We had Lord of the Rings, and you'd sent a thing about Knights of the Old Republic with Embracer. Do you want to talk about that?
I don't know. I don't really know about the Lord of the Rings part. I just
But
kind
you
of
can
know about.
start with yours, and
Okay.
I'll talk about the other.
So basically, there have been rumors that the Lord of the Rings remake, because we heard that there was a halt on it, but then they said apparently a new company acquired it, and they were in order to stay on deadline and to make sure that the quality doesn't go away. Embracer ended up picking it up, and then like
They
a
did.
division within their company is now heading it. But then Jared turned around in the group chat and posted about Embracer that they possibly have some other titles too that they've acquired.
Well, the one that you sent was the Knights of the Old Republic. The
Mhm.
actual let me pull that back up. That they've changed the developer of it, and they're going to be starting on that. And then they just acquired all the Lord of the Rings content from everything, and Amazon is basically paying them now instead of whoever had those rights.
Yeah.
So they're getting all the money. And on top of that, they are going to take from the books, Lord of the Rings, they're going to do some one-offs. So like they may pick
Oh,
out,
that'll be cool.
they may follow Gollum as
Mhm.
Smeagol or something. I mean, Shane is not too excited about it because he feels like it doesn't fit because we kind of get the story of a lot of them. But I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool to see some of more of Aragorn when he's Strider. Maybe seeing some of that. That would be a good, because I mean, he was doing a lot of stuff for over 100 years already, right? No, he was 80 something.
Yeah.
I think. Anyways,
Because the TV show is following Galadriel, right?
yeah, it's
But
basically
she's old now.
she's
We're in the
old
Lord of the Rings.
now. In
Right.
the Rings of Power, she is really
Yeah.
young. She's just got her ring, and it's talking about how Sauron actually forged the rings. Is where we're at. It's
Okay.
the second Middle Age or the first Middle Age, one of the two. I can't remember. So we're learning about the rings themselves and how Sauron brought everybody together.
Gotcha. Okay. I think it'd be cool to see.
I would like to
The
see what they
one-offs
can
like
do
that.
with it. Some
Yeah.
one-offs.
I agree.
If they can make them good. I mean, I'm honestly excited for Gollum Gollum the game. Me and my son have already pre-ordered it just to play it
That's
because
cool.
we like it. He can run around as him, jumping,
Wait a
choking
minute.
stuff, and
Can you get it on the VR or the Oculus? Because that
I
would be
don't
fun.
I don't think so, but that would be pretty fun. That's a lot of running that he does though, because he's
You
not
can
really
play.
ever slow. I'm not.
Yeah, but like, so I have The Walking Dead on my Oculus. You use the little
Little pads,
toggle
yeah. I'm
to
thinking like
move.
Ready Player One, where he's on the mat and he's running, and I'm
Oh.
like, man, that lose some weight that way. Anyways, so yeah, so they've acquired all of that, and they're got some big plans as far as Lord of the Rings go.
So what's the thing with the Knights of the Republic? The old Republic?
Yeah, they're doing the remake for the game. They're doing the
Okay, this is a game.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
And they
it's,
just
Alright.
basically they had to pause production, and people were losing their minds. Like, here we go with another. Like, of course, it's like, well, it's Star Wars, so Kathleen Kennedy's doing something. It's like, bro, Kathleen Kennedy ain't even got nothing to do with this.
not this one. Lucasfilm, I don't even think
Right,
owns this anymore.
right. But it's Star
That's
Wars, so
funny.
she ruined something. She messed the game up.
You know what? I wouldn't doubt it.
Right.
That's
Totally.
what Shane said.
That's what she does. That's the kind of stuff she does.
It's fun to pick on him when he's not here.
It's fun to pick on him when he is here.
Right.
Yeah,
When he
that's
can
that
fight
too.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of stuff about the Orville.
Oh my
I've not watched it, but I like Seth. What's his name?
I like
Seth
Seth MacFarlane, and I
Yeah.
like a lot of the stuff he does. When I
Love
saw
Family
this
Guy.
show, though, I was just like, I don't know.
So here's the brief synopsis about the Orville. In the beginning, it was a spoof, right? It was a spoof of Star Trek,
And it feels
And-
like a spoof.
right?
Yeah, that's
But
why I
then-
didn't want to watch it.
Right. But then he asked to do Star Trek, right? And they kind of told him yes, and then they pulled it. So then the Orville switched. Like, the stories begin to be serious. Like, obviously there's comedy in it, but that's not like the big gag. It's not like just a gag, a constant gag. It began to take shape and have a real story. So season 3 just wrapped up because they after the first 2 seasons, Fox lost it and Hulu picked it up. Hulu made it rain. They gave that dude. Listen, episodes was like an hour and a half. It was like movies,
Wow.
right? And they didn't hold back on production. Like,
Wow.
it took them a while to even finish season 3. So with that being said, though, they just finished up season 3, and oh wow, okay,
I didn't
yeah,
know either.
it's really good, man. Like, even the costumes are great, the acting is great.
That's crazy
The
that he
story
would
is
do
really
something like that.
Yeah, because since he was like, oh, y'all don't want to let me touch your franchise, I'll just create my own.
It's
And,
hard to take serious though. It really is.
Yes, he is hard to take serious.
But they kind of stopped focusing a lot on him. Like, obviously,
Okay.
What I'm saying is the stories end up getting to some of the side characters' quests and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So the cast in itself, you care about them because of how he's built the storylines. Because, like I said, when the show got serious, because they address serious issues, but it's with aliens, so it's not in your face,
Interesting.
like punching you with political stuff. For instance, there was an episode where in the Mucklin culture, all of the Mucklins are men, right? Well, they had a child that was born a girl, and so they wanted to get her sex changed so that it wouldn't affect their culture. And so there was a big debate about whether to get her sex changed or not, and they ended up going to court and everything. And because they found this one Mucklin woman that was like she was in the distance somewhere, and so she came to the trial and told her piece about everything, and they still made them change the sex of the baby. Didn't give her the opportunity to say for herself what she wanted. So that turned into another episode down the line. Like, it's written very, very well.
Interesting.
It's very good. Very,
Ah.
very good.
I'm
Okay,
intrigued.
so should I skip the first or second season and just go to how would I feel if I watched it and then I did that?
I don't know, because you won't get the history of stuff, because things like they take things from the beginning that carry on throughout the season. So it really is like it really pays the stuff off. That makes sense, because like I said, some of the stuff that I'm talking about happened earlier on, and then it does a full circle like in season 3. So yeah, the writing got very, very well, was very
I
well.
didn't know he could write serious stuff.
And
I just
you know
didn't.
show tunes is his thing. So all of the like the score and everything, it sounds pretty amazing. He's
That's
serious
cool.
about
I mean,
the show.
I have no doubt that the dude is smart, and
Yes.
you can tell by even like Family Guy, some of the
Yeah.
intellectual stuff.
Mhm.
Man, that was hard to get out.
Ruined it.
That I mean, you could tell that he's got a lot of stuff going on in his brain.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
one of those things that you can tell he cares about the show. It has adult jokes, but very serious content. Like there's some crying episodes where it's like, wow, I cannot believe they did that with this fantasy
Seth
show.
MacFarlane can make me cry.
It can, Bonnie, if I was tearing up, I know it'll make you.
Okay. Oh yeah, you know. It doesn't take much.
Even Sarah's pretty invested. Like that's her show.
Really?
Oh yeah, she loves Orville, bro.
Have to
I don't
try it
know.
out after my 50 other thousand.
It's
shows
going to
to
be
watch.
low on my list. We'll
Yeah,
say that.
I get it.
If we have a span of snow, then we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
See what happens this winter.
Because I mean, like we've got Westworld. I have
Yeah.
not.
I've never
I haven't,
watched that
I
either.
haven't finished the first season, but I
Okay.
enjoyed it. So what I've seen so far, I've enjoyed.
So Westworld, I will say season 1 is by far the best season. By far. Season 2 was okay because it at least trailed on to season 1. Season 3 is trash. I'm talking trash. It was so trash that number 1, I thought they canceled the show. Number 2, when they showed the preview for season 4, I didn't even watch it. Right? Somebody had to tell me, like, no, season 4 got better, because season 3, they literally every time somebody opened up their mouth, they made up something. Like the writers was like, let's just do this. Like they were just throwing stuff against. It was trash. So season 4 had to work through the trash to get us, because some things happened at the end of season 4 that's like, okay, I'm in on season 5. Right. But it was starting to lose me on season 4, because they're working through all this crap that they made in season 3 that they were trying to fix it. You can tell somebody was like, nah, we got to get back to the essence of what we did. Season 3, here we go. This is an easy way to explain it. Y'all, well, except for Bonnie, because she didn't watch it. But the Nevers, right? The Nevers.
Oh crap.
There's that one episode, right, where it changed and you had to like stop it to make sure you was watching the same show.
Same thing. Yeah.
That's exactly what happens in season 3 of Westworld. This is like, what is this? Okay. Yeah. You see how I threw you under the bus, Bonnie?
Yeah. I completely forgot about that show too. And my mom even told me to watch it.
That's because it's great. You are sleeping on some great stuff over there watching all that anime.
Severance. We don't have enough time to get to it now. But
the ending of Severance was incredible.
I need to watch Severance.
It's slow, but it is a good payoff, I feel like.
What's it about?
Great payoff. Simple.
You told me. Oh no, you told me. This sounds good. Where these people go to work and don't know that they're at work when they leave work. And it's this whole like, is this okay to do or not? But you have to sign off to do it.
Well, yeah, basically like when you go to work, you don't remember your home life. When you're at home, you don't remember your work life. And before you can get the job, you have to, sign all of the waivers. Like I am doing this under my own will, and I agree to have this stuff removed from my brain. We'll do it. But it has a great payoff. And Ben Stiller is like the creator.
That's right. You said Ben Stiller's a creator. I do want to watch that one.
He directed a lot of the episodes too.
There's some weird stuff.
It's weird stuff.
I'm a weirdo. It's all good.
Yeah.
The party.
Yeah, that waffle party, bro.
I didn't know what to think of that.
Waffle party. The egg party.
And this is on Apple TV, right?
Yes.
Jared, you remember this?
Yeah.
I don't even want to know.
You bit me.
Don't want to know.
You'll see it, and you're gonna be like, "Am I? Why?" And you know what's the best part? I love the theme song. I don't know why I love the theme song.
Right.
It's good times.
Yeah, great episode, y'all. Great episode.
Yeah,
Great
for sure.
episode.
I'm so glad that I can be on here with you guys.
Same here,
Yeah.
man.
Love you
We're the
guys.
best.
Love
We're
you
the
too.
All you
best.
guys out there, thank you for
That's
hanging
right.
with us,
That's right.
doing our thing. You can do it with us.
Yes. It's a good
We're
time.
the Marauders. Thursday,
Until next
7:30.
Thursday.
Till next Thursday. See you
We'll
guys.
see ya.